test. And then from there, on the same week, I will be trying to accommodate groups so that we can have like a meeting one by one and see your grades, if you got any additional decimals, and then take a look on the final grade for the test. There will be no final project. It's just the third evaluation, as we always do. And that will be basically it for this course of this semester, okay? So we're almost at the end. I don't know how you're doing with your other classes, guys.
In my case, teacher, I right now I have like 10, no 20 problems to make until I have until Wednesday of electric circuits, and also I have like two upcoming exams for next week. So I'm kind of stressed right now, but happy at the same time.
That sounds a lot. Yes, I know. And especially because I know that there's some cases that teachers ask you for like an actual final project. So uh, the accumulation of the third evaluation plus an additional project plus I'm not sure, maybe 4 more classes, 6 more classes. So yeah, a lot of stress, but at the end you will feel satisfied. And more because after that you don't have to worry about school anymore, at least for the next 2 to 3 months, because we're going to go on our summer vacations, the longer ones. So that could be some sort of relief for this. All right, guys. Well, let me go ahead and take roll. Now I have my list open and we will start. Yvette. All right. And then we have Alexis. Aaron.
Present. Present.
Thank you. Paola. Thank you. Samuel. Daniela.
Present.
Thank you. And then Jonathan. Thank you. David Montañez. All right. Armando.
Present.
Thank you. Octavio.
Here, miss.
Perfect. Jasmine.
Um, Present, teacher.
Thank you. David Navarrete. Claudia.
Here, miss.
Thank you. Anelis. Pablo.
Present. Teacher, Annelies went on the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you for that. And then Jasmine. Yes, I got yours as well. Thank you. Alan.
Here, teacher.
Thank you. Wendy. Present. Thank you. Omar. You are here. Ismael.
Present, teacher.
Thank you. And Fernando.
Here, teacher.
Perfect. Okay, going back, do we?
Excuse me, miss. I didn't hear my name.
This is
David Navarrete.
Sorry, I'm having bad connection. I think you're here, David. Yes, and then Samuel. So we're just missing Samuel. Okay, and yes, Annalise, don't worry. Pablo already got your assistance. Okay, let's go ahead. I know that it's been the weekend and maybe we forget about things, even myself. But what do you remember from last class? What can you remember? So we have Omar.
So one of the things that I remember was that we made a, oh, what is it called? A feedback, and also we hear some audios about customers and some chocolate.
Okay, so yes, we were talking about the feedback, right? Yes, thank you so much. And then Jonathan, it's saying although and however words. Excellent. Yes, we were talking about contrasting ideas. And that whenever we are about to contrast ideas, we could use transition words for contrast. We can find although and however, but also you can find like nevertheless, on the contrary, yet, etc. So yes, we were giving feedback. Along with the feedback, we were including those transition words. Excellent. And then we talked about like a podcast, I think it was about the chocolate and the fans, right? That sometimes when we purchase any type of merchandise from certain companies, we even can become fans of those, and then we become true fans, right? So yeah, I think that was basically it, what we discussed last class. So today we're going to continue with our unit 11, which is 11.1. And before proceeding, here in the screen, you can see 4 pictures, right? Here we have 4 people that we most likely are familiar with. What can you tell me they all have in common, or any comments in regarding any particular person that you see here? So what do they have in common? Go ahead, Omar.
I can say that the 4 of them have one thing in common, and is that they're very, I probably could say, intelligent or smart in making decisions.
Okay, very smart, making decisions, intelligent. Yes. Thank you. What else, Aaron?
Maybe they are charismatic and they lead a big company.
I'm not sure if it was my internet, but you said a big company, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. So yeah, charismatic, and then maybe for the exception of Barack Obama, unless that he has another thing aside, but yes, they are all in charge of something big, right? We could say that they are even leaders. But more than that, we could say also that they are successful, right? On whatever, as you mentioned, whatever decision they make, since they are smart, very intelligent, they are very on spot on their decisions. So that makes them all together have one thing in common, which is being successful. Now, think about if you have ever received a good advice on how to succeed in a job or in life, And what do you think is the most important thing or things these people did to succeed? So either or, if you have the answer for either or, you can raise your hand. But think about the things that they have done in order to succeed. What do you think is the most important thing in each? If you want to say any particular case, but what is it? David Navarrete, go for it.
In my opinion, is don't be afraid of the responsibility.
Not afraid of responsibility. That's good. Yes. What else, Omar?
Probably give all their effort in what they love doing.
Okay. So give all the effort, right? Giving everything we have. Um, don't be afraid of taking responsibilities. All right. So in that case, the topic that we will discuss today is about secrets of success. So we will talk about how to succeed. And this is part of Unit 11.1. So let's go ahead and start with this article. We have an article here called Do I Need to Fail More? And it's written by Ross Rivera. And we're going to focus on the definition that they give or according to what they um, promote that failure is. And then we're going to see if Ross thinks it's a good or bad thing to have. And also obviously why. So I would need one person that can help me reading the text, and then we will find the definition for failure, and if you think that it is he thinks that's good or bad. Aaron, you can go ahead and read the whole article, and everyone else should need to follow along the text. Okay, so you can start whenever you're ready.
Yes, sure. Do I need to fail more? As a technology writer, I spend lots of time making sure each article is as good as my last one. I had a lot of success in my career, but could this be a bad thing? I write about a lot of tech companies that fail, but people in the industry actually see failure as a normal and an important part of their success. Evan Williams and Noah Glass, for example, once set up a podcasting company that didn't work out. They got over it and joined some friends to start Twitter. A lot of international companies also agree that you have to work at success. Managers often promote employees who keep up the hard work and don't give up during bad times. That really makes someone stand out from the crowd. I've been thinking about how I can fail more, and I think I figure it out. I like my writing job and don't want to give up. So I'm moving on to writing music reviews. And if that doesn't work out, well, I just hope failure is a good for me. Rose Rivera.
Excellent, thank you so much. All right, so um let's go ahead and see what is failure. So you can, based on whatever the article says, or you can even come up with your own definition. So if someone asks you, what is failure? What would you say? So what is failure for you guys? Or based on the text that we have just read, what is it? Aaron, go for it.
Failure could be well, having a plan, making decisions, and the result doesn't end good.
Okay, so maybe failure it's when we have a plan, we make decisions, but we don't have a good result. Maybe? Okay. Anyone else? Someone else that would like to add something to the definition? Anything else to add? All right, so we would say simply that failure is something that it's not successful, but also doesn't mean that it's the only result or the only episode that we could have on when we do something. So, according to the text and the article, does Ross think it is a good or bad thing? Do you think failure, according to Ross, is it a good or a bad thing and why? So if you need, you can go back here on the same text. So what does Ross think? Does he think failure is something good, something bad, and why? Ismael.
He thinks failure is something good because you learn about it.
So yes, failure is something good because at some point, and we have noticed that even on our experiences, that at some point you will succeed on something that you have failed a lot of times. And that's because you never give up. So excellent. Thank you. Now, what are the qualities on the same article? What are the qualities that they mentioned that are good for employers to have? Employees, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna share you the actual text right there. Give me just 1 second so that I don't have to go back and forward. Okay, so there you go. Based on the same article, what are the qualities that they mention that are good for employees to have? And just to give you a heads up, it's a total of 4. So what are those 4 qualities? Ismael?
The employees who don't give up.
So don't give up. All right. What else? What other qualities would you say? So one of them, it's not give up. Don't give up. What's another thing? Omar?
To figure things out.
Okay, to figure things out. Yes. What else? What else it's mentioned? So what else? It also mentions about work on success, right? Work on success and keeping up the hard work. So this can be some of the qualities that they mention, okay? Let's continue. Now we have some vocabulary here. There are some expressions that, again, in the same article were mentioned. So why don't we go ahead and find out to complete those vocabulary? In a little bit forward, I will let you what um, what is a combination of those. Okay, so go ahead and take maybe 3 minutes and so let's take 3 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and do 2 and 2. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, etc., etc. Aaron, go with the first two.
Number one, set up, and number two, workout.
Excellent. 3 and 4, Ismael.
Number three, get over something. And number four, work at something.
Great. Thank you. Omar, next two.
Number 5, keep up. And number 6, give up.
Great. And Armando, the last three, please.
Number 7 is stand out. Number 8, figure something it out. Number 9, give something it up.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. So here I have more to practice. We are only going to do the first part, which is part A. Number one, it's already been done. So let's go ahead and match the first part with the second part, obviously as logic as possible. So let's take another 3 minutes for this and we will share the answers all together. But only part A. You don't have to do part B. All right, let's go ahead and do 2 and 2. So I want for you to like read the sentence, the first part, and then the complete sentence with the second part, okay? So 2 and 3. It will be Ismael.
All right. Number two, the two friends decided to set up the company 6 years ago. And number three, it took me a long time to get over my bad exam results.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Now, next two, 4 and 5. So next two, 4 and 5. Go ahead, Ismael.
Number four, I was so tired I just had to give up before the end of the race. And number five, with his green hair, he really stands out in the photo.
All right, thank you so much. And then next two, would you like to try them, Daniela? Would be 6 and 7.
Yes, give me a minute.
Of course.
You'll get your degree if you can keep, um, I don't know, over my bad exam results.
That one was already used. So you'll get your degree if you can't. It will be up if you work up the hard work until next summer. And then number 7, do you want to try it as well?
Yes, to become a good scar, you have to work. Um, at your technical.
Yes, thank you so much. So at your technique. And then 8 and 9. Thank you, Daniela. Number 8 and 9, last two. Go ahead, Fernando.
Mm, Unfortunately, my plan didn't work out as I hope, out as well as I hope. And number 9, when I was sick, I decide to I decide to give up coffee and drink only water and juice.
Excellent. Okay. And then the second part, we'll just dismiss it. So, one of the things I want for you to focus on is that here on the vocabulary as well as on the article, we were able to see like a combination of words, right? So that combination, it's called phrasal verbs. So what are phrasal verbs? Let me, I think my screen kind of froze. Well, those are basically called phrasal verbs in which it just consists of a verb and a preposition. So we can see like set, which is the verb, and then in this case, up. Set up. Up, it's a preposition. So we can find phrasal verbs all along the language. Actually, they are very common to see. And here they want to focus it only on advices from successful people, but they are used among any topic, I would say. So these phrasal verbs, as I said, it's a verb plus a preposition or an adverb, and many of them, I would not say all of them, but many of them have actually um, a noun, okay? Also, the preposition or the adverb actually changes the meaning of the verb. So if you say drop out, and here I have some examples. If you say drop out, if you say the word drop, you know it's like something that it's falling, something that it's down, right? But then with the combination of an preposition, it totally gives a new meaning to the phrase, which is just to quit doing something, right? To so drop out from class, like to quit from class, from school, etc. And then also, one other characteristic of a phrasal verb is that they are usually idiomatic, meaning they are just expressions that are commonly used from native people, native speakers. And here we can see some examples like the phrasal verbs. We say get back, um, to return, or get up, to stand, to get out of bed, etc., etc. So then you can see that the combination of a verb and a preposition or an adverb gives a whole new meaning to that phrase. And the next here we can see that it's just simply the verb plus the preposition or the adverb. So stand up, sit down. Those will be just simply called phrasal verbs. And then here we can find that verbs, the phrasal verbs can have no object. Object, remember, it's the one that receives the action. So they're mostly, you will find the object after the verb, or in this case, after the phrasal verb. However, on phrasal verbs, there are three possibilities of having them. So one of them, it's not having an object, just things hardly ever work out the first time. So there's no object here. Or inseparable. By separable, it means that the actual phrasal verb can be separated by the object. So in this case, they set up a company. It's the same by saying they set it up. So we can see here the verb and then the preposition, and then it is split by the object. Object meaning the one that's receiving the action. But then we have again with object, but that it's inseparable, meaning that the actual phrasal verb or the actual object will go towards the end only. It means inseparable. Think about it like your friends, that type of friend or that specific friend that you have, that you just cannot be separate from that person at all. and that anything that goes after that, it just goes after that combination. So get over, and then again, we have the object, but it's not in between, but mostly on the end. So all of these are examples. There can be three different possibilities on the phrasal verbs, but at the end, the only thing we have to care about is that they all will have a verb and they will all have a preposition or an adverb in combination with. So any questions, guys? Any doubts? Raise your hand if you have questions, or thumbs up if everything is clear. So does it make sense? All right. Thumbs up. So no questions. So let's move on then. Now go ahead and help me out completing the grammar for phrasal verbs. So number one, who wants to read it and complete it with the appropriate rule? Ismael?
Number one, some phrasal verbs have an object.
Okay, excellent. So we would say some, right? It is not all of them, but some. Thank you. Number two. About number two. Do we always or sometimes put the object after two words? So what about number two, Yvette?
We can always put the object after the two words of a phrasal verb.
Okay, so in this matter, yes, we can put the object, but it's not all the time. Remember that there are three possibilities. So we would say only sometimes. It is not in all cases. Remember about the separable and inseparable phrasal verbs. But yes, thank you so much, Yvette. And number three, can we always put the object between the two words or phrasal verb? Fernando, go ahead.
I think we can sometimes put the object between the two words of the phrasal verb.
Yes. And once again, we would say sometimes because remember, we can have a combination of inseparables with object, separable with object, and actually no object on a phrasal verb. So those are our three possibilities for phrasal verbs. All right. Let's continue. So in case that you have any questions, just don't forget we are here to answer them. Let's go ahead and complete this first part right here. And I want for you to rewrite each sentence, but now using just it. So, and in addition to that, you will tell me if it has an object, if it has, if it has an object, if it's inseparable or separable, And if there is no object, you will also let me know. So you will read the sentence and also tell me, this is one with object but inseparable. This is one with object and separable, or this is one phrasal verb without an object. Okay, so that we can start getting the idea. So I will give you maybe 5 minutes for this, and then maybe I will choose you to participate, okay? So we will see how it goes. So 5 minutes, take 5 minutes, and then we will answer these questions all together. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. But also mentioning if it's a phrasal verb with object, if it's separable or inseparable, or if it's a phrasal verb with no object. So number 2, go ahead and rewrite it with the word it, but also saying what it is, what kind. Go ahead, Ismael.
Number 2, you can figure it out. It's not an object, and I think it's separable.
Okay, so yes, it is separable because we can find it in the middle of the phrasal verb. So we have the verb, the object, and then the preposition or adverb. All right, so yes. Number 3. Fernando?
I write we are working it at, and I think it's separate.
Okay, so you say that it's we are working it. Okay. We're working at it, and it's actually it will be inseparable because you are talking about the solution. The solution it's towards the end. So in this case, since we didn't divide the actual phrasal verb, we would say that it's inseparable. All right. Next one, number 4. Thank you so much, Fernando. Number 4. Jonathan.
Do not give it up, and this is not object.
Okay, so in this case, it will be separable because the object is between these two. All right. Be with object, but it will be separable because we can actually separate the phrasal verb. Number 5. Thank you, Fernando.
Okay, and that will be you will get over it and is inseparable.
Yes, it's inseparable because it's all the way towards the end and the actual object is disappointment. So yes. And number 6. All right, Jasmine, go ahead.
Is keep it up the good work?
So keep it up only, since we are substituting the good work here in the middle. And what kind of or what type of phrasal verb is? So what kind? Is it separable or inseparable? What is it? Since it is in between, we would say that it's separable because we can separate the verb from the preposition. All right. Any questions, guys? Any doubts? No questions? Thumbs up if all clear. Okay. So now it's your time to make your own phrasal verbs of success. So think about success. Think about any tip that you will give someone in order to succeed on something. So you're going to do 5 successful tips using phrasal verbs, and maybe some of them can include object, maybe not all of them, however you want to do the combination. Don't forget to use the combination of a verb and then a preposition or an adverb. And in the case that it's the ones with object separable, remember that there's no problem if you have like a pronoun or anything in between, as long as you make a variety of them. So my example is my tip for successful with phrasal verb, get up early every day. So get up, that is my phrasal verb. And my tip, it's in order to succeed to get up early every day. So go ahead and come up with your own phrasal verbs of successful tips. And then once you have them, it's a minimum of 5. Once you have them, just post it on the chat. Okay. For this activity, maybe let's take like 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes, and then I'll let you know what the last activity is about. So let's do our phrasal verbs. And then if you have questions, I will be here. All right. So let's see, what phrases do you have? And we'll set up your mind to have good ideas, work out your weaknesses. Okay. Go get over the conformism. Excellent. Keep up your mind work. Figure your skills out. I like that last one because it is also a way of separating not only with the word it, but with the actual object, right? You could have said figure out your skills, but also figure your skills out is a way, a correct way, I would say, to write it down. So good job, Israel. Work out in yourself every day, okay? Don't give up, don't give it up at the first problem. So maybe just don't give up at the first problem. And then you have to figure out how to resolve your problems. Excellent. Work out in mind and body. That's a great advice. Great tip. You have to go over your expectations. That is also a good one. Thank you so much, David. And then don't get over the failure of all. That's good. Get yourself up at hard times. Yes. Figure out how to become the best. Yes. Work out your mind. Set up new projects in life. Excellent. Those are great advice. Thank you, Omar. Always stand out at your job. Be classic. Okay. Never give your dreams up. Okay. Pursue them. Keep up the wisdom line. That's a good one. Get over bad moments. Grab them and learn from it. That's a totally definite good advice. Receive all the life hits. Figure the better way out. Oh, those are good ones, Jonathan, too. I like them. Take away distractions. I think I will take that one from you, Claudia. Avoid slacking off. Okay. And I like again that it's in between, we would say separable, right? Excellent. Trust in yourself. Never give up. Never put off important stuff. That's awesome. Okay. So I will stop there so I can give you the final instructions on the last thing to do. So for this one, I would need, this is going to be something individual. So even you can take the ones that you are making, the phrasal verbs that you just did. So I want for you to turn them into a video. So you will create a video as if you were one of the most famous, successful person in this world. So I want for you to obviously do it like some sort of type of YouTube video, like, you know, how those influencers that exist. So you will include at least 5 phrasal verbs. You can use the ones you have shared with us, or even become think about other different ones. So I want for you to add an introduction, like introducing yourself. I don't know, you will be the ones that will do the introduction of your video. Use the phrasal verb advices, and then you're going to do also a closing part of the video, okay? And this video will be uploaded into an assignment that I will create in Teams, okay? So for this, I will give you the rest of the class, the day of the class. It's going to be open the whole day, but work on it right now. So let's see. It is 2:23. Yeah. Maybe at 2:45 we will see how is everyone in progress, and then we will go from there. So if you have questions, once again, go ahead and don't hesitate to ask me those questions. I will be here. So let's go ahead and make our video. If you have any doubts, let me know. I will be here.
Miss, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What's up?
This activity is in teams or it's just for one of us?
Oh no, it's individual. It will be turned in on an assignment that I will create on Teams, but it is an individual work.
Okay, yeah, that was what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Thank you.
All right. So yes, it's an assignment on Teams. Every time that I capitalize the word Teams because it can be kind of tricky, but every time that I capitalize, it's because of an assignment that I will create on Teams. Okay. So yes. All right. So, as I said on the chat, this will be open the whole day before 11:59, so you can turn in your video. All right. So before we leave today's class, I want to say goodbye with a phrasal verb for advice. So, what phrasal verb of advice would you give to the class before you leave? So just before we go, what phrasal verb can you tell us before you go? Ismael.
Work out your English homework.
That's a good one. I like that. Thank you so much, Ismael. Anyone else? A phrasal verb advice that you will give to the class before you go? Jonathan?
Set up your emotions and I don't know expressions.
Okay, so set up your emotions. That's also a good advice. Thank you. One more. One more and we will go. One more advice? Anyone? Omar?
Work out on a winning mentality.
Work out on the winning mentality. Yes. Mine is very powerful. Thank you so much. So I have a good one, guys, for you. Let's get out of the call. So have a great day. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and see you tomorrow.